So I want to show you one of my favorite hacks for winding yarn. I am going to make this charming tote. It is a pattern that I found at Yarnspirations, and it's called the Charming Tote. And it's a bulky tote that is crocheted with number 7 jumbo yarn. Red Heart Grand, I think, is the yarn that they used. I have a 1 pound ball of just worsted acrylic that I want to use, and I figure because this particular pattern requires 3 balls of this grande yarn, I am going to make 3 balls of worsted and then crochet this pattern with strands from each of those 3 balls. And then of course I do have, it needs a P-hook, which is 11.5 millimeters, and I'm hoping for the best with this. So I'd like to share with you my favorite hack for winding a ball of yarn. So for this you will need 2 things. 1, yarn. This is 16 ounces of just yarn. That's 1 pound. Just 1 pound. I found this at my local Dollar Tree. It cost me a few dollars. A couple $5. Some dollars. If you have the opportunity to get the Dollar Tree, you know how I feel about Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree's awesome. You will also need a medicine bottle. Really any bottle where you can take the lid off, screws off, and you can screw it back on. It should be empty. So you're going to be pretty familiar with this. Those of us that hand wind balls, I like hand wound balls. It's just something as meditative and as interesting and as relaxing as crocheting or knitting. It's a very simple thing. What I like to do is I just open the bottle. I take the end of my yarn here, make a nice tail. And just figure 8 a few. And then I take this, and pinch it, and then I put it into the bottle. And then you can see that I have yarn in here and a tail. And then from there, I just start winding. So I'm right-handed. My right hand is my dominant hand. But if you're left-handed, and usually what I like to do is I just like to kind of get a little bit of a ball structured here. And this would be the center of the ball that I'm winding. You can see here that you've got some shape going on. And it doesn't look perfect. But you would continue doing this. As it turns out, I need some help. So I love these little binder clips. They're very good for lots of things, like keeping your yarn together. So I'm going to open this. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clamp it to the side of the tray that I'm working through. think I may have done this a little bit stupidly. There we go. It's nice and oriented properly. But I like taking the binder clip, and then I'm just going to clip it to the side of my tray here, and you can see that I've got some tension to keep the yarn gathered while I wind it. It might be a little bit easier for me to do this if my orientation were the other way, but because my yarn is coming from my left and I'm winding with my right, it's a little bit awkward. As it turns out, all I really need to do is just put the yarn on my right. There you go. And so now my binder clip is on the right hand side of my tray. This is a nice tray. I like it. It's carved. It's a Chinese style, like wood tray, and it's something that was just in the room that I'm renting, that I found to be really helpful. But I like the intricate detail, and so I'm going to continue winding this ball, and now it's a little bit easier. All I needed to do was put the yarn on my right. I don't really care about tension. It's just super easy to just get the yarn on here. And I'll continue winding the ball. You can see that that there's some shape starting to go here. And this is just like a regular medium size pill bottle that I got from the pharmacy. It's very simple, pretty standard size. Look how pretty that is. So I love when my ball starts getting kind of big like this. And it's okay to make a little mistake. My balls never look perfectly round and symmetrical, but I'm also the ball winder. And one of the cool things that I like about being the ball winder is that I know that my balls are not going to come out perfectly round because I'm not a machine. I'm a human being. I am a creation made in God's image, and that means that, you know, the things I do are going to have imperfections. They're going to vary, and that's all right. God is good that way. So here we go. I've got my little ball going on here. It's getting pretty big, you can see. And this is about the size that I want it to be. It's kind of square looking right now, but I'm going to continue on for a minute here. And it's fun for me to just kind of get this tail end covered with yarn. So I'm going to try to get that done as quickly as I can here. Oh dear. It's helpful to hold this down here if you want to. And I like to rotate the bottle to kind of get that nice, you know, alternate that helps to create a more even ball. But I don't care about it being even. Like, nothing on my physical body is symmetrical. I don't care about my yarn balls being symmetrical. I just need them to pull from the center. And that's me being very real and practical with you. I think it's easy not to make a big deal out of things that aren't really that important, when there are a lot of things that are actually more important that we should make a big deal out of. Like the fact that the devil is a liar, a thief, and a murderer. And I know that sounds really bad for a lot of people, but there are so many people who sell their souls to Satan for power and authority, and I have a problem with that. there was a period of time where I was like that, where I was like, you know what, I'll do whatever I can to become more powerful, including sell my soul to Satan. What I learned is that the moment of truth has arrived. My ball is large enough, too big almost. So I'm just going to push the bottle out a little bit, and then I'm going to open up my bottle, take out the end here, and then I'm going to squeeze the rest of the bottle out. And at this point, what I usually like to do is I'll just kind of tuck the rest of this into here. This isn't anything new for people, but you do have a pretty good size hole here. If you have a smaller one of these, I would recommend it. This one's a medium size one. It works for a good size ball. Like this one I think is maybe 5 or 6 ounces. And then I just like to squeeze the ball together to kind of close that hole. Make it cohesive. As you can see, it's not even really that pretty. And because I'm still actually attached to the original ball of yarn, I can continue winding if I want to make this like the world's largest ball of yarn, which is not really a thing, but I think maybe there is one. I don't know, I'm digressing. But this is a really, really, really nice way of hand winding a ball without having to rely on using your fingertips. This is especially helpful if maybe we have arthritis or something like that. Like our fingers don't bend as good. That, to have something to hold on to is really nice. And even the larger bottles that you might get from the pharmacy can be used to wind balls of yarn. So I have a couple of things here. These are just regular bobby pins that I got from, I think, Walmart. They're literally the kind that you pin your hair with. Like, they're not anything special. And then I have one of these cool little snap open clips from the dollar store. And this is just kind of a lazy hack that I came across some time ago. And I don't know if it works. You let me know if you like the pin or if you prefer the clip to keep this tail end here attached to your ball. And I don't have any children, so a lot of what I do is quite childlike because I can afford to be childlike because I don't have any children, but it also allows me to just be kind of myself. So I've got like a hair clip, and so this is now my little mummy baby with a center pole. Oh man, that's a mess. Oh, nobody wants to be, okay. But I do have now a working ball of yarn. I'm going to make 2 more of these. Let me know which one you prefer. The hair clip, I think the hair clip I like a lot better than the pin, but the pin works also, and it's just to keep that tail end that we had earlier, that we cut off earlier, in place. So I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.